Hi, and welcome to your yoga practice. My name is Kashandra. Thank you for being with me here today. Today we're going to do a 45-minute cozy morning practice. It can also be done at night as well. Fairly relaxing, but moving the blood around can kind of get some energy flowing as well. So let's go ahead and get started by coming up to a nice tall seat. I like to sit on a block up a little bit higher, or feel free to just sit on the floor, on a pillow, anything like that. Nice tall, straight spine, shoulders back and away from the ears. Close off the eyes if that feels good, and take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Two more like this. Now with the eyes still closed, coming back to a normal breath, just settling into the space, taking a moment to scan through the body. Notice what the head feels like, the neck, the chest, the torso, and just notice without any judgment what you're feeling. The hips, the upper legs and lower legs, the feet, upper, lower arms and hands. And just notice how you feel your body as a whole. And just breathe into that noticing. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and open up the eyes, remove any props from our mat, and we'll go ahead and begin our practice today in a lying down position. Lying flat on the back, legs straight out, arms out to the side in a corpse pose, just to start off with. Feel your body fall into the earth. Breathe. Continue to find that connection with the breath. We'll go ahead and bring the right knee into the chest now. Interlace your fingers around that knee. Feel free to roll out the ankle a little bit. Bring a little bit of strength into your left leg, squeezing the quad and the knee. Maybe dorsiflexing that left foot towards the shin a little bit. Creating a little bit of energy with our ease. Take one more breath in here. As you exhale, we'll bring our right arm out to the right in a nice goal post position. And then with the left arm, we'll pull with the right knee over to the left side all the way for a nice easy twist. Gaze can come over the right shoulder if that feels good, or look up to the ceiling. A couple breaths here. One more nice big inhale. And exhale, slowly coming back to center. Squeeze that knee in for one more second and release it straight out. And we'll right away bring the left knee into the chest, interlacing the fingers, rolling out that left ankle if that feels good. Giving a little bit of strength into the right quad and knee. Maybe dorsiflexing the toes towards the shin. Finding a little bit of sthira and sukha, a little bit of intensity mixed with ease. Take a nice big inhale. Bring the left arm out to the left, maybe a goalpost or straight out. And then with the right arm, bring that knee all the way over to the right side for an easy twist. Looking over the left shoulder if that feels good. And breathing. The goal is to bring the left shoulder onto the ground. Leave that shoulder on the ground as we twist our whole body to the right. Of course, that's just a goal. Wherever you are is where you're at. One more big inhale here. And exhale slowly, coming back to center. Squeeze that knee, straighten the leg out, shake the knees out a little bit. And we'll come into a couple warm-up bridge poses. So planting the feet firmly on the ground, knees pointed up towards the sky. Our knees are going to be hip-width distance. We don't want them to splay out or come too close in, but more likely in than out. Planting the hands right next to your hips, palms facing down. Press into the feet as you inhale. Raise the hips up to the sky. And see if you can raise your hands up all the way to the sky and then all the way back as you come all the way up. Exhale, we're moving nice and slow, lowering the hips back down to the ground and the hands follow back the way they came. 2 more like this. Inhale for hips to come up. And exhale to lower. One more time. And exhale to lower. Leaving your feet where they are. Let's just do a couple windshield wipers, bringing the knees off to one side and then the other. I like to do one at a time sometimes, or you can do both at the same time, whatever feels good. Just kind of awakening the spine. When you're ready, we're going to make our way up to a seated. I like to rock and roll along my spine. Just round your spine as much as possible if you do, so that you protect the spine. And once you've made it there, take a nice deep breath in, raise both hands up to the sky. And then the right arm reaches down, left arm reaches up and over to the right. Try and energize your chest and armpit towards the sky. Maybe your gaze comes towards the ceiling as well. Inhale, both arms come all the way up back to center. Exhale, lowering left arm, reaching up and over with the right arm. Elbow can be straight or bent. Arm can be reaching out or in. There's really no right or wrong, whatever feels good. Look up to the sky, open the chest up to the ceiling. And inhale brings us all the way back up. And let's roll over our knees or bring our legs up to one side to come onto all fours. Planting the palms, wrists underneath the shoulders, hips over the top of the knees. Nice neutral spine. We don't want our head to look too far up or too far down. Just find this alignment first. Maybe you tuck the pelvis just a little bit. And maybe the belly button comes towards the spine. Tighten your abdominals. A few cat-cows here. Inhale, hips come to the sky. Look up, belly button towards the floor. And exhale, round the spine, tuck the pelvis, chin comes to the chest. Inhale, back to that cow position, belly to the floor. Look up, hips come up. And exhale, round the spine, tuck the pelvis. 2 more at your own breath here. Coming into a puppy pose from here, walk your hands out as far as you can in front of you, lowering your chest and your armpits towards the mat, keeping your hips up to the sky. Go ahead and let your forehead rest on the mat. Open the heart here. Noticing the tops of the feet pressing into the earth, just give them a little bit of attention or intention here. Always coming back to the breath. Great way to start your day is just by noticing your breath, becoming mindful in what you're doing. Sets you up for the rest of the day to be as mindful as possible. Coming back up onto all fours. Planting the left hand straight flat into the mat. Raise the right hand up to the sky. Open the chest up to the right side of the mat. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to thread the needle. Bring that arm through underneath the torso until the shoulder comes all the way to the mat. And the head comes to the ground. The left arm can reach up and over the left ear if that feels good. Hips are still in the sky, just like in that puppy pose. Coming back up onto all fours, both hands plant firmly. And then the right hand plants, left arm reaches up to the sky, opening up the left side. Take an inhale and then exhale. Thread that arm through, lower the shoulder all the way to the ground. The top of the hand is flat on the ground. Reach that right arm up and over the ear. And don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to notice the tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Bring that right hand back in front of our face. Come back to all fours. Plant the palms. Tuck the toes. Press into the palms and the toes as we lift our hips up to the sky. First, keeping the knees bent. Raise your hips up so high that your spine becomes straight. And then once you feel a nice straight spine, you can begin to straighten the legs and begin to lower your heels towards the ground for Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog. Gaze goes between the thighs or towards the heart or towards the feet. There's a nice long line, the back of your neck, and a nice straight line just from the crown of your head all the way to the tip of your tailbone. It doesn't matter how bent our knees are, as long as our spine is straight.
Planting the left foot onto the mat. Let's go ahead and raise the right leg up to the sky, straight back behind us and all the way up. It's all right if we're not very far, but keep the hips squared off towards the floor. You can flex or point the toes, it doesn't really matter. Take an inhale here.
Look between the hands, and then we'll bring that leg through between the hands. Lower the back knee down and come up onto the fingertips of the hands. Let's bring our shoulders back and away from us. Look up slightly with the head, open up the throat, open up the heart, and breathe here. Coming into our half Hanumanasana, begin to bend into the back leg and straighten the front leg as you come up onto the heel of the right foot, flexing those toes. Bring your fingertips closer to the knee. Take an inhale for a nice flat back. Come up nice and tall. And exhale to lower down with as flat of a back as possible. Trying to keep the hips squared off towards the front of the mat. Let's do a couple one breath, one movements here. We're going to go from the low lunge into our half Hanumanasana, just as we were in before. So I'll do some counting. We're going to go for a breath, a count of 4. So inhale to lunge, 2, 3, 4. Exhale to Ardha Hanumanasana, 2, 3, 4. A couple more like this. Inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant the palms on the floor, tuck the back toes, lift up off that knee. Let's leave the left hand where it is. Raise the right arm up to the sky. Open up the chest for a twist. Look up to the ceiling if that feels good for you. Bring that right arm down. Step the back foot in just 3 or 4 inches and begin to straighten the front leg as much as you can. Grab a block if you need it, or 2. You can bring it to either side of your foot or one side. Let's go ahead and square off the hips. The left hip is wrapping towards the front of the mat, right hip wrapping towards the back. Come up for a nice straight spine wherever you are. Legs can be a little bit bent or straight. Inhale here. And exhale, lower down as far as you can with a nice flat back, but with a long line at the back of the neck. If you don't have blocks, you can use books or your shin, or just bend your leg a little more. It doesn't really matter. Begin to bend into your front leg. Plant the hands in the floor. Step back into a plank position. Let's take one breath here. Bring the knees down if you need to. And exhale, raise the hips up to the sky, back to our downward facing dog. Planting the right foot into the ground, raise the left leg to the sky, squaring off the hips towards the floor. Breathing here. Look between the hands. We'll bring that left leg through. Lower the back knee down. Come up onto the fingertips if you can, or onto a block if you really need it. And breathe here. Shoulders away from the ears. Just notice how you feel. From here, begin to bend the back leg, straighten the front leg, come up onto the heel of the left foot. Take an inhale to come up for a nice flat back, and exhale to lower down as flat of a back as possible. It's okay if you round a little bit. We're going to move to one breath, one movement now. So inhale to our low lunge. 3, 2, look up. 1, and exhale, Hanumanasana. Straighten that leg. 2, 1. Inhale, low lunge. Open the heart on the fingertips. 1. Exhale, Hanumanasana. Straighten the leg. Back is flat. One more time. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale one more time. 2, 1. And plant the hands, tuck the back toes. Come up off of that back knee. Plant the right hand firmly into the mat and raise the left arm, open up to the left, raise to the sky. We're breathing. Look up if that feels good. From here, planting that left hand back down onto the mat, begin to walk the back foot in 3 or 4 inches, lower the back heel down, and begin to straighten the front leg. Left hip wraps to the back of the room, right hip wraps towards the front. Grab hold of your blocks if that feels good. Inhale, hands on the shin, hands on the floor, hands on your block to a flat back. And exhale with as flat of a back as possible, lower down. If you feel like you're losing your balance a lot in this pose, in this pyramid pose, then widen your stance just a little bit. This isn't a balancing act. It's more about opening the hamstrings than anything. And practicing good form and safety. When you're ready, plant the hands on either side of the foot. Come up onto the toes of the back foot. Step back into your plank position. Down. Take a nice big inhale here. Sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, look between the hands, and walk to the top of the mat. Come into a ragdoll, bend the knees so that the torso rests on the thighs. You can grab your opposite elbows or just let your arms dangle. Let your spine round.
Shoulders away from the ears. And on the inhale, slowly taking 2 full cycles of breath, let's roll up like a zombie or whatever you are. A ragdoll, roll up. Head and neck and shoulders are the last thing to come up. From here, plant all 4 corners of the feet firmly into the earth, palms shine forward. Close off the eyes. Notice how you feel. Let's come into one little standing balance pose. We'll come into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Right foot plants into the earth. The left knee points out to the left. Come up onto the balls of that toe. You can bring your heel to the ankle. You can begin to lift your foot off and bring it to the inner part of your calves, or you can bring it all the way above your knee to the inner thigh. Whatever feels good. Find a wall if you find that you want to practice your balance or you're not quite there. Bring your hands to heart center. Let's come into a Lotus Mudra where we keep the pinkies and the thumbs together and open up the 3 fingers in the middle. Create a nice little flower with our hands and breathe here. Shoulders are away from the ears. If you'd like to take the next step, you can raise your hands up to the sky. If you would like to go even farther, you can look up to the ceiling. There are many steps along the way and you can stop at any of them. If you're finding this very peaceful and easeful and you want a little more of a challenge, try closing off the eyes for just a few seconds and see where it takes you. One more inhale. On the exhale, bring the hands back to heart center and release that leg. Give them both a little shake. You can do a little bit of a shake like this if you want. And planting the left foot into the mat, right knee points out to the right. You can go ahead and bring that heel to the ankle, the foot to the inner calf, or your foot can come to the inner thighs. Try not to rest your foot on the knee. We don't want to put any pressure on that knee joint. So we always want to be above or below. Shoulders back, hands heart center, Anjali Mudra. Then come into our Lotus Mudra, pinkies and thumbs together. The middle 3 fingers come out, making a nice little open flower. So cute. What color is your lotus? Mine's purple. Is it always purple? I don't know. Be ready for the next step. Go ahead and raise your hands up to the sky. And yet again, you can gaze up to the sky as well. And if you'd like to go a step farther, you can begin to close off the eyes for just a few seconds. This is not my good side. Closing off the eyes will just mean that I will fall. One more breath here. On the exhale, hands come back to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Release the leg, shake it out. Shaking is a great way to wake up. Also a great way to release anything that we need to release from the day or from our nights of sleep. Can actually release a lot of trauma through shaking. So you're probably alone. You're watching me and I'm being weird, but you're probably alone. Doesn't matter. All right, we'll meet at the top of the mat when you're ready.
For just a moment, let our palms shine forward again. Close off the eyes, shoulders back. Notice how you feel after shaking it out a little bit. Maybe you feel a little bit of tingling in the arms and the legs. Just notice your energy and smile. Open up the eyes. Inhale, raise both hands up to the sky. You can gaze up to the hands if that feels good. And exhale with a flat back, swan dive all the way down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway to a flat back. You can bring your hands to your shins, shoulders back and away from the ears. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into the plank. Hold here for a breath. Inhale, knees up or down. Exhale. One more inhale. We'll lower the knees and then we'll lower all the way down to our bellies. Coming in just into a couple gentle cobras. We'll start with a baby cobra. So the hands are right underneath the shoulders, elbows in. As we inhale, we use the muscles of our back just to lift our head and our shoulders. We're using our muscles here. We could almost even remove the hands from the mat because we're not pressing too much into them. If you can't, that's also okay. One more inhale here. And lower the head, the forehead down to the mat. On the next inhale, let's come up a little bit higher. So first we'll use our muscles and then we'll press into the hands wherever feels good. I like to keep my elbows bent so that I can keep my shoulders away from my ears. But if you like to go nice and straight, that's okay too. Listen to your body. Inhale here, and exhale, lowering all the way back down. Let's go for one more cobra here. Inhale as you press into your level. If you'd like to try for an upward facing dog, you can press even more into the hands, come up off of the knees and press into the tops of the feet. And look up a little bit. Whatever suits you, whichever level you're at is great. Inhale here and exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Bring our hands straight out in front of us onto the mat. Make a little diamond or triangle shape with your hands. And then we're going to just rest our forehead into that diamond and breathe. Notice here while you're resting the rise and fall of the belly. Use this as a time to become mindful and notice your breath. And notice if you're holding tension anywhere. Maybe in the glutes or in the legs, you're squeezing a little bit. Release there. Releasing the shoulders, releasing the head and neck. There's no need to look at what's going on right now. We're just resting and releasing. Begin to slowly lift the head. Bring the palms underneath the shoulders. Press up onto all fours. And we'll make our way to a seated position at the top of the mat. You can just bring your legs off to one side. Straighten out your legs. Because this is a nice morning stretch class, I'm going to use a pillow and a blanket to lay on top of my straight legs in front of me. We're coming into Apashimotanasana. You also don't need any props. I'm just feeling cozy and lazy, so it doesn't matter either way. Inhale, a nice flat back. Maybe even just look up a tiny bit. And exhale, with the flat back, let's walk our hands out as far as we can. We might not make it very far. Take one more inhale to a nice straight back. And then exhale, just let gravity do the work. Let your head hang heavy, round the spine. Find what feels good. Rest on your pillow or just let gravity let you hang. Slowly begin to walk your way all the way back up to tall spine. Remove your props if you have them. Coming into a Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet come together. The knees come out wide. Go ahead and grab hold of your feet. Inhale for a nice tall spine. And with props or without props, first walk your hands out with a flat back. See how far you can hinge forward. It might just be a couple centimeters, or you might go pretty far. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, walk your hands out. Let gravity do the work. Let your head hang heavy. Feel free to move around a little bit. I like to rock a little bit back and forth. Just feel the different parts of my spine opening up. And then I like to come into stillness later. You can move the whole time or remain in stillness, whatever suits you. On the next inhale, slowly begin to walk your way back up to a tall seated position. Straighten out our legs in front of us and we get to lie down. So we'll meet lying down on our mats wherever we are. Just a couple more stretches before we come into a rest. Bending both knees, planting the feet on the earth. Keeping the left foot planted, we'll cross the right ankle over the left knee. And then we can press that right knee away from us a little bit if that feels good. Remain here if that's a big enough opener for the outer right hip. Or if you would like, bring that left knee in towards you. You can interlace your fingers behind the knee or the outside of the knee. Remembering that if you feel any pain in the knee, to flex into the right toes. Flex those toes towards the shin. That'll keep the knee protected. On your next inhale, slowly release the grip, lower that left foot to the ground. Plant the right foot on the ground as well. And then we'll begin to windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Now we'll plant the right foot into the earth, cross the left leg over the right knee, press that left hip away, and if that feels good, remain here, or we can bring the right knee into the chest, interlace the fingers behind or on the outside of the knee, dorsiflexing into those left toes if you feel any pain in the knee to protect the knee, and breathing here. Slowly lowering that foot back down. Both legs come down, windshield wiper one more time. And then we'll go ahead and bring our knees into our chest. We're about to come into our rest, so find any movements that suit you, that you need for last minute. Maybe you need to open your hips, or maybe you're just ready to come to a rest. Go ahead when you're ready and straighten out the legs, open out the arms, and breathe here. Continue breathing, relaxing all of your body here. Take a moment to release every part of your body. Shavasana is so important for your nervous system to reap all of the benefits of the practice that you just did. So I'll guide you through a little gentle relaxation here. First, releasing the toes, releasing the entire foot and ankles. Your whole lower leg and knee rests into the mat here. Upper legs, hips, and abdominals are releasing here. Chest, mid, lower, and upper back and shoulders are all releasing. Relax your upper arms, your elbows. Relax your lower arms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Let your neck relax here, your jaw. Let your whole head relax and your eyes relax in their sockets. Full body is relaxed. Rest here for a moment and I'll let you know when it's time to wake up. Slowly we begin to come back into consciousness. Maybe deepening the breath a little bit. Just notice the rise and fall of the belly while you're lying here. As we wake up and get ready for the day, or get ready for bed, wherever you are in your day, begin to make small movements, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Maybe roll out the wrists and ankles. From here, let's take a big morning stretch. Reach your arms up and overhead. Stretch your legs out long. Make a long straight line from fingertips to toes like you just woke up. And exhale, bring your knees into the chest. Roll over onto one side into a fetal position. Let that lower arm, that bicep, be a pillow for you. You can rest upon it. And just remain here for a moment in this symbolic space of new beginnings. We began in our mother's wombs in a position just like this. It's just a reminder that we can always start fresh. A new day, a new moment, a new start every day. With the eyes still closed, go ahead and slowly make your way up to a seated position at the top of your mat. Cross-legged or legs straight out, whatever feels good for you. Shoulders back and away from the ears. I'd like to recite to you one of my favorite quotes by Rumi. It's just nice and simple. Live life as though each day is rigged in your favor. I'm paraphrasing, that's probably not exact. Just remembering that life is happening for you and not to you. And if we live in a way that we see that things are happening for us, then we can find a lot more blessings in our day. And so hopefully we can go throughout our day and remember all of these things. Remember to be mindful. Remember to let life happen for us, not to us. Bring your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. One more time like this, deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Open up the eyes. Maybe a smile comes to your face. You're ready for the day. Thank you so much for joining me today, yogis. The light in me honors and respects and truly loves the light within all of you. Namaste.